For more on the missing jetliner, I spoke to Seth Kaplan. He is a managing partner at Airline Weekly. I asked him about the comparisons to MH370.
Right. Well, first of all, you're talking about an airline, yeah, whose parent company at least is also based in Malaysia. So you sort of start there. But in terms of the incident itself, more differences than similarities. With MH370, I mean, we're still talking about it, just an unprecedented mystery. Here, certainly a lot that we don't know, and a lot that we'll hope to learn in the coming days. But we know that there was bad weather. We know that the crew had requested to change altitude. Certainly things that have a lot more in common with other incidents. In fact, almost any other incident you can think of than with MH370, which is really in a category by itself.
Let me ask you about this. It seems some of the dissimilarities, and you're bringing those up, it seems like there's a quicker response this time in terms of getting communication out there. Also, the CEO going on Twitter, Facebook, trying to keep families abreast of what's going on. These are lessons learned, aren't they, from MH370?
They sure are, yeah. The dissimilarities extending not just to what might have happened in the incident itself, but how the airline is managing it. AirAsia, and to be fair to Malaysia Airlines, again, important to remember that incident was just so extraordinarily mysterious. But even having said that, they didn't handle it all that well by almost all accounts. Whereas AirAsia, an airline that really has styled itself on some of the best practices around the world, an airline that has now become a rather large budget airline, but sort of cut its teeth looking at Southwest Airlines, EasyJet in Europe, those kinds of airlines around the world that have done a good job positioning themselves as affordable, yes, but also friendly and most importantly safe. So that's sort of been what they've done. AirAsia's CEO very much in the mold of the CEOs of those kinds of airlines, and sure enough, he's always done this. He's always communicated very directly with the public, even in good times. Now in bad times, seems to be doing a good job of at least exhibiting transparency, saying, look, there's so much that we don't know, but we care, and we're going to tell you what we do know. And it's amazing how far that goes. What Malaysia Airlines did, unfortunately, just created all kinds of suspicions. In some cases, even with sort of mundane information where they did know something, they just didn't share it. That's not what AirAsia is doing, and that's a good thing.
What are you going to be looking for? What kind of questions will you be asking as the week progresses?
Well, when you look at these incidents, when you have some weather involved, I mean, ultimately, the question becomes, was this just weather, or was it some combination of other things that went on? And very often, these crashes require some combination of, yes, bad weather, perhaps something mechanical, although certainly no sign of that yet, and then perhaps some crew error as well. If you think, for example, about Air France Flight 447, that was the one that went down off the coast of Brazil about 5.5 years ago now. That was one where you kind of had a little bit of all of that. You had terrible weather to start. Then you had some confusing readings on the instrumentation, and then pilots who, according to crash investigators, didn't handle even that limited information as well as they could have. So perhaps some combination of all of that, and although too early to speculate, but the question is, which of those was the primary cause?